Alright! This is Monday Night Raw. Part of me does not want to end the streak, so I'm gonna, rearrange the streak's name to episodes of Raw that weren't bad. Because this episode, while it was not bad, it just wasn't really, captivating to me. It wasn't, special to me, and I'll get into why. I mean, you started off a 20-man battle royal for Dean Ambrose's United States Championship. So now people that bitch about him never defending the championship can finally shut the hell up because the championship is finally off of him. And who does it go to of all people? It goes to Sheamus. I'm just going to wait for him to piss me off before I do my 50 reasons why Sheamus sucks rant. Now, during the match, I saw Damien Sandow was in there. I was hoping he would win. Then I was hoping Jack Swagger would win. Then I was hoping Ryback to win, just so he could turn on Curtis Asshole finally. One thing that really made me upset was they kind of squandered the chance to push Jack Swagger some more. I mean, the United States Championship makes as much sense as anything on him. Now, during the night, we also had this whole Daniel Bryan running away from Kane angle with his wife, and we're all afraid of Kane. This is a horror movie inside wrestling. It's fine because it's entertaining. But one thing we gotta keep in mind is just remember that the same angle 2.5 years ago is what killed Zack Ryder's career. So I just hope that the WWE doesn't book Daniel Bryan as weak as they did. Like, if he really just wanted to protect Brie, just have Brie drive out there on her own and fight off Kane, try and kill him off for good. And Kane managed to knock out my satellite. Okay, this is just so you guys know that I'm not shitting you. Kane really did knock off my satellite, and this should take no more than 5 minutes to complete. It's been like that for like 20 minutes now.
'Cause you can look, but you can't touch.
The only hope for this storyline is that eventually they give Brie a chance to look strong. Again, using AJ to my case. AJ didn't get over by being the abused girlfriend of Daniel Bryan. And you can look back, even after they broke up, she still wasn't over. AJ got over by being the diva that punked out Kane, that put the WWE champion through the table. Now, I'm not saying they should have Brie completely punk out Kane like AJ did, but what needs to happen is Brie needs to get to a point where she's tired of running and she's sick of Stephanie McMahon trying to control her life. At some point, Brie needs to stand up to Kane to prove that she's not just this damsel in distress that cries whenever she's in trouble. I want her to have a standoff against Kane. And for her to say that, she's sick of running, she's not scared of him anymore. But they don't have to completely punk out Kane like what they did with AJ. After Brie stands off against Kane, and after she says that, then you have Daniel Bryan come out from out of nowhere, take Kane out before he can touch Brie, and now instead of screaming and running away, Brie is cheering him on. And maybe at one point, Daniel Bryan holds Kane back and lets Brie slap him a few times. Something like that needs to happen to make this work, because you saw just how much that worked when Brie told Stephanie McMahon off last week. We need to see more of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all smart, aren't you? And if you didn't realize that the promo that Jay Wyatt cut was a face promo, turning him face, then I really gotta question whether or not you have a functioning brain in your skull. Everything that Jay Wyatt said in this promo screamed babyface, doing everything for the children. Think of the children. So I really can't wait for Jay Wyatt to be on the next Make-A-Wish, him shaking hands with the poor little kid in a wheelchair with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper next to him making their funny faces, Eric Rowan in the sheep mask. I think that would be the greatest wish ever granted of all time, so I really can't wait for that. Los Matadores came out to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, whatever that is. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't. But I was really expecting one man to interrupt this segment, and that was the Rusev. As we all know, Rusev is racist, but of course, 3MB had to make the save, and you know what? I really like the idea of 3MB, whatever 3 means. Maybe they won't be jobbers anymore, so now 3MB can take over the WWE. Another one that looks like it's continuing after Extreme Rules. This one I don't really have a problem with. Hornswoggle versus Torito. I don't really like Los Matadores. I guess I just like El Torito. So on to what Jack Swagger ended up doing besides winning the United States Championship. This segment started out as win, and then it got kind of weird. It started out with Zeb Coulter trying to deport every foreign superstar and Paul Gaiman. And you know what? It was pretty damn funny. I just wish he had elaborated more on his whole why he wanted to deport them. I mean, the whole Sheamus and Paige one was pretty damn funny. Then he gets interrupted by Adam Rose, who tells him, "Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud." And what's weird was it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, Adam Rose, maybe he is British. Or maybe Australian, I don't know. So it does sound like he is foreign, so it does make sense. But at the same time, I thought they were going to make his character into more of a heel. But now that I see it, like, actually work in person, it's like, alright, maybe this guy would make a decent face. I just don't like, I don't know, it just felt a little weird to me. But maybe I'm just not used to Adam Rose yet. So then it's the Wyatts versus the Shield. These matches always tend to feel special no matter how many times they do them. The only problem is that with the Shield, they really are starting to, you know, make Roman Reigns look invincible, and that's just going to get people sick of him in a hurry. So what they need to do is they need to make him look more human like they did after the match was over, but they need to start doing that in the matches that the Shield are in. So Evolution ends up interfering, there was no disqualification called, and then Jay Wyatt ends up getting the win, pinning Roman Reigns. And then Evolution beats down the Shield. So we're going to get a continuation of Evolution versus the Shield. Knowing Triple H, he'll make it elimination style, leave it down to 3-on-1, the Shield versus Triple H, and he'll overcome all the odds. Because they might be setting up Roman Reigns versus Triple H at SummerSlam, which I wish I had just said that Roman Reigns was going to headline SummerSlam. Because this might be bigger than the championship match. I mean, why are we getting continuations of feuds that, you know, it looks like we got the blow-off match for it at Ryback Rules. Anyway, I'm still looking forward to Ryback because AJ should be back to kill Paige for the Divas Championship. Ryback Rules a lot of WrestleMania rematches, so Ryback might just be Ryback Rules rematches. Ryback Rules 2014, guys. What a damn good event, you know. I'd like to say that for a predictable show, this was pretty damn good. Anyway, we started out with the triple threat match, Cesaro versus Rob Van Dam versus Jack Swagger, and you know what, I didn't like pay too much attention to this match. I just, like, anything that I did pay attention to, I saw that it was solid, and the funny thing was that the commentary team didn't even realize that this was an elimination match, you know. They were botching all over their line, saying that, you know, wondering what the hell the referee was doing when he counted Jack Swagger out when Bob Van Dam pinned him, but I don't know, I thought that was pretty funny, and Cesaro ends up getting the victory, obviously. I mean, I don't think there was ever a shadow of a doubt in anyone's mind that Cesaro was going to end up victorious here. Rusev ends up squashing two more black guys. This is a damn shame. You know, the segregation movement of 1955 apparently meant absolutely nothing to this guy. You know what? They realized how stupid it was to have a Russian team up with a Bulgarian, since they don't speak the same language, and so now they're making Rusev into Kofi Kingston, where, you know, he randomly decided to change nationalities, and the Rusev does not impress me one bit because of his racist acts. Because I remember before he debuted, he posted a picture on Instagram that he was a Clippers fan. And as we all know about the Clippers, they had the most racist owner in NBA history. And now we realize just who supports Donald Sterling. And that is the Rusev. So if there's one person that's benefiting from the Rusev's character, it is Donald Sterling, you know. It's that he could still watch Rusev squash poor innocent blacks every week on his television. Wade Barrett versus Big E ended up delivering on all cylinders. A good match that, you know, gave us an exciting finish. And damn it, Wade Barrett is your new Intercontinental Champion. And I don't know how to feel about that. It's kind of bittersweet knowing that the Intercontinental Championship carries a curse with it, and that Wade Barrett might be carrying that curse with him from now on each week on Raw. Kind of seems counterproductive to the push that they're trying to give him, but I'll give it an opportunity, I'll give it a chance, and I'm happy. And then now with, you know, Sheamus being the United States champion, it's kind of hard to see Wade Barrett being the dominant champion of the two, seeing as how Sheamus never loses a match without looking like the stronger opponent of the two. Now the question is, what's next for Big Titty? Is he going to become that jobber that he was after he left Dolph Ziggler last year? I don't know, I'd like to see him take on Bautista or, Bork Laser. That'd be, great. The Shield versus Evolution. A lot of dream matches for people who have erections over stables, I would say. And I think this match went just about as well as it could have gone. I mean, there was not much they could do. They didn't make this Extreme Rules. They didn't make it a tornado style. They didn't do, anything special with it besides the fact that, it was Evolution versus the Shield, and that was the selling point. But aside from that, I mean, they couldn't do anything much more than what they ended up doing. They made the Evolution look like the dominant faction for the most part of the match. Looking like the veterans that are schooling the young guys, and then they had the young guys just pull out the surprise and end up winning the match. Plus, they ended up doing a cool spot where Seth Rollins jumped from the nosebleed seats so that even the nosebleed fans wouldn't feel so bad about being such cheapskates. Anyway, Roman Reigns ends up pinning Bautista. I was going to say Bautista. Maybe Bo Dallas and Batista can make a tag team and they can call themselves Bautista. But that's a different rant for a different time. Roman Reigns ends up pinning Bautista. And, I thought that this was going to end the feud and Evolution were going to separate. The Shield was going to go on to bigger things. But after Raw, it looks like they're going to continue feuding. Steel cage match, Jay Wyatt versus John Cena. Guys, never been so frustrated and watching a match and been so happy with the finish. The whole steel cage concept was probably to keep the Wyatt family out of the ring, and yet the whole match was centered around the Wyatt family interfering constantly. And not only that, but John Cena overcame the Wyatt family, and it took a small child. It literally took a small child singing to stop John Cena. So 3 of the biggest monsters you built up over the past year aren't strong enough to beat him, but a child singing is. I thought the finish was cool and everything, but I just thought that it didn't really do much for Jay Wyatt even with the victory. Paige versus Tamina for the Divas Championship. Guys, going in, I expected a shitfest of a match. And it ended up being not as bad as I thought it would be. Now, that's not to say that this was good. Not even to say that this was decent. It's to say that it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I expected full-blown Charmel versus that Survivor girl from Against All Odds. Or was it? No, it was Victory Road 2009 type of match. But, no, we ended up getting lower level of okay type of match here. And probably one of the best Tamina matches there is. I also have a bone to pick with Tamina. And JBL for that matter. First with JBL because he said Tamina should have been in the APA. God damn you for saying that, JBL. You don't even say that as a joke. You don't even say that as an April Fool's joke. That's distasteful. That's like making fun of the dead. That's disgusting, JBL. That is rotten. I'm going to tweet you about that. Daniel Bryan versus Kane for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in an Extreme Rules match. I was surprised to see that they were going to save this for the main event. They pulled out moves from Judgment Day 2003 and WrestleMania 22. And you combine those two and you end up getting a fantastic match. What could you want from an Extreme Rules match in the PG era? So Daniel Bryan ends up winning. And again, this is just like the Shield and Evolution. I thought this was going to be it for these two, but I guess they're going to continue feuding. I've heard that they're going to have a Buried Alive match, but the last thing I trust now are dirt sheets. So I hope that that's true, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Alright, this has been Ryback Rules 2014, a damn solid show. Before we wrap this up, I just want to congratulate the winner of the Ryback Rules pay-per-view prediction winner, Tom Baltazar, with 135 points, getting each and every single match right down to the finish, 100% correct. And as a victory prize, you get a video request on any kind of video you want. You could get creative and think of absolutely anything. Or they could decide the concept of the next review. Or the final one, you get to choose our favorite and least favorite superstars / divas from here on out until the next pay-per-view. So get creative, my friend. I'm looking forward to it. So this has been Omar for the MT Omar Review saying yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Ryback Rules!